You're listening to She's the Business podcast. There's a lot of talk around content and whether you can get high engagement or, people liking and sharing your stuff. And while that's all good, obviously that helps to build an audience of people who like you and know you. Is it actually moving them towards a sale? And for the vast majority of what I see out there, the answer is no, because what makes really great content is not just the ability to connect with someone emotionally or, have them engage with it and like it, but actually to get them from a place of where they are now to where they need to be so that they're ready to buy from you. That is content that's really working for your business. And there's probably one really major factor in how you get that type of content that most people are missing. So this episode is sharing with you exactly what that one thing is and how to think about it for your business so that you can create the type of content that helps to shift your customers towards the place where they're ready to buy from you, which is what we all want, right? That's why we're in business in the first place, not just for popularity, not just for likes and, all of those kind of things, but actually, we want to really help people, and how we help people best is through our service. So that's the aim of the game. Stay tuned because it's coming right up. Hi, I'm your host, Jessica Osborne, and in my 23 years of business and marketing, I've built many brands to become multi-billion-dollar companies. And just in the last 10 years, I've built 2 online businesses of my own from my dining room table with 2 little babies running around at my feet. I've made it my mission to inspire you to get out of your own way and become the successful business owner who's living the lifestyle you really desire without all the hustle. This is She's the Business podcast, made by women for women. This is your weekly dose of motivation and inspiration. All right, so today we're talking all about content that actually moves your audience towards the sale. Now, let's start with why. Why do we even want to do this? Why are we talking about this today? It's because I think content is probably one of the biggest things that is taking your time when it comes to marketing your business. So I'm sure that if you think about the hours that you spend in your business on marketing activities, the majority of the time would be on some form of content, whether that's social media, if it's blogging, if it's creating videos, podcasts, whatever your preference may be. No doubt it is around creating content. Now, there's a lot of information out there about all different ways you can do things and lots of different techniques and tactics. And there's lots and lots of great stuff. But I think that most of the time, I'm just going to be really frank here, most people have forgotten the purpose of creating this content. Now, yes, content can help you with SEO. It can help you build an audience. But why do you even want these things in the first place? Think about it. The reason why you want to have good rankings in a search engine is because you want to drive traffic. Why do you want to drive traffic? It's because you want people on your website. And who do you want on your website? Well, you want people who are actual prospects who are considering, or maybe somebody who will buy from you. You don't care about someone visiting your website who's not a prospect. Like, what difference does that make to your business? Absolutely zero, right? So the reason why we're doing this content, and if it's social media, it's the same thing. You're really ideally trying to drive traffic to your website, to your DMs, to your point of sale. That's why we're doing it. The ultimate end goal is in a business is to make the sales. Now, of course, I'm in marketing. I understand and I know and I have talked a lot about the whole know, like, and trust thing. Yes, people do need to know, like, and trust you. But if they get to that point and there's still no desire for them to buy whatever it is that you're offering, then that is pointless. Whatever you've done has got a new friend. You've got a new advocate, but you don't have a buyer. And so you're not in business, or your business is going to be very, very slow growing. And what I see a lot of people doing is thinking all I've got to do is just know, like, and trust, and then sit back and wait for the sales to roll in. That's not happening. If you're not creating desire for what it is that you do, through your content, it doesn't matter how much somebody likes you. They're not going to buy unless they've got that desire. So let's really take a step back and have a look at the real purpose of content. The purpose of content, yes, we want people to get to know us. We want them to find us. We want them to like us and trust us. But the missing ingredient there is we want to create desire for what it is that we're selling. And that does not mean, by the way, that it's coercing somebody or convincing someone who doesn't need what we're offering to buy from us. Absolutely not. What we're trying to do is we're trying to attract the people who do have a need for what it is that we do, the people who are the exact right fit to work with us. Attract them in so they become aware that we even exist. Attract that you get them to know us and like us because, I might not be the right fit for them. Even if they fit my profile, there still could be an energetic mismatch. There might be a personality clash, whatever it is. We're still wanting to bring in or narrow down those prospects to the right fit, the people who are the right people who are going to gel with you, who are going to enjoy working with you, and certainly be the right buyers. Because again, we don't want to attract the wrong buyers. We don't want the people who are disgruntled. We don't want the complaints. We don't want any of that stuff. And it won't happen if we're attracting the right people in, who are the right fit, the right energetic match, and have that exact need, who will benefit from the value that we can bring, right? Okay, so we've got to this point. Now we're definitely clear on why we're doing the content. It's to attract the right buyers and to create desire for our offer, create demand. How do you do that? That's probably what you're thinking next, right? So how do you actually do that? Well, what I see a lot of people doing, this is one of the big mistakes, is thinking, okay, yes, I'm creating content that somebody likes, or I'm going to create content that I think my audience wants to hear. So something that they think, they like that stuff, or they resonate with it. They want to hear it. Now, if you're telling your audience something that they already know, sure, it can create a kind of connection, right? Some kind of engagement, like, yay, I like hearing that. But just think about this for a minute. If they're just hearing from you something they already know, it's just reconfirming with them what they already know and believe in. And if they're currently not where they need to be in their business and they've got a problem that you're trying to solve, how helpful is it for them to remain where they are, thinking, yeah, I totally agree with that, and that's right? Because they're just going to continue doing what they're already doing. And they've got a problem. Clearly, they don't know what the problem is if they're not able to solve it. If they're still doing it, then the problem is that they've got a problem. They might maybe have a misconception. They're making a mistake. There is something going on there which is causing them to be in the place where they are and not in the place where they want to be. So it's not very helpful to just deliver them up content that's stuff that they already agree with. That's not helping them to shift to the new place where they need to be in order to stop making that mistake, or even to see that they're making a mistake and think, that's the one thing that I need to solve. So now I know where to go to get help in solving it. Can you see the difference? When your content is something that's able to present a new perspective, maybe ruffle the feathers a bit. What is that thing that you could actually do in your content to shift someone into a place where they are ready to buy from you? Because they've finally figured out, oh my goodness, I didn't even realize this is what I was doing, or that I needed to do X, Y, Z, whatever it is, or I need to know something, I need to, whatever they need, which they didn't know before, that's now what they're focusing on. Because yes, they want to solve their problem, right? And the reason why they're not doing it right now is either they don't believe it's possible, or they've got no idea that they're making a mistake. They think that they're doing the right thing. No one makes mistakes on purpose. They are making that mistake because they don't know any better. They don't know any different. So where we're getting to with this is when you're able to create that sort of content that can help to shift somebody into a place where they can see what it is that they really need in order to be able to buy, you're creating desire and demand. Now, add with that the ability of you to be communicating and creating authority through your content. Now, the way that you get to this place where you can deliver that really deep, impactful content and create authority in this space is because you can be specific about your expertise, and you're creating that content for someone very particular with an exact problem, and you can relate to it. You can speak to them about it in a way that they feel like, oh my goodness, this content was like it's been written for me. That's exactly what I'm doing. That's exactly what I'm thinking, or that's exactly what's happening to me right now. When you're doing that, that's when you've got the power to inspire someone to take action. And that means, my friends, that we need to get really specific. Okay, when we're talking about authority, we're talking about owning your expertise. And you need to have authority. You need to own your expertise. Another way to say it is the old niche word. And I know that lots of people think, when you say niche, but think about, when I say niche, think about specialization. Specialization is, a defined expertise. Not that you have expertise in lots and lots of different areas. That is not an expertise. That is generalization, right? That's being the jack of all trades or the Jill of all trades. And there is no such thing as a premium Jill of all trades. If you're a Jill of all trades, then you're rattling around at the bottom of the barrel, scrapping for all of the different types of projects that you might be able to do. Whereas when you specialize, when you can then be perceived as an authority in a space because you are specialized, because you're talking on your topic and you can go deep, you know about it, you can be speaking to someone on that much deeper level. That's when you have authority. And authority creates far more trust than delivering any sort of how-to content. We can go onto YouTube and Google how to do anything all day long. There's plenty of people out there delivering free how-to content. Do you think that that's making them sales? Well, not when everybody's out there Googling the stuff and looking at it on YouTube for free. So let's forget about the how-to content. That's not your most powerful content. It's definitely not helping someone move towards a sale. It's just telling them how to do something. It doesn't create authority. What does create authority is becoming really specialized and talking to someone about helping them see something that they couldn't see before, that they didn't even realize was happening, that they didn't realize they were doing. So when you can clearly show that you know how to do whatever that service is for the exact type of business that you best work with, then you're reducing and removing any doubt that that prospect has that you're the right person for them, which again is creating demand and desire for what it is that you offer. Because we've got so much choice out there these days. Every market, every niche, every micro niche, we can stop trying to think we're going to find a hole in the market. That pretty much doesn't exist, and that's fine. That's not a bad thing because there's a lot of buyers out there too. But when we can be clear about what it is, who we work with, what space we work in, then those people can really easily identify us. That's where we're trying to get to here. You're getting into a place where you're able to stand out, have authority, and be seen and perceived as an expert. And yes, you can be an expert, even if your business is new, absolutely 100%, because we're leveraging you as a person, as a whole being, your expertise, which is based on everything that you're bringing into this business, right? Your prior experience, your skills, everything that you've done that is giving you that reason that you can solve this problem for someone. Okay, if you didn't have any expertise in that area, then you really have to go back and question, well, are you in the right line of business? Is this the right business for you if you have no expertise in it? So I'm assuming you're listening to this podcast, you're in business because you do have expertise. You've got experience, you've got skills, you've got something to offer. And that means that you just need to get clear on it. Let's actually create that authority. So this process is obviously something like it's not an overnight thing. I work with my clients in Business Jam on it over the course of weeks. We go really deep and we help them peel back all of the layers, peel back the fears and the uncertainties and the nervousness around defining a specialization, around defining that niche. Because once you do, that's when you get clear. And that's when you're able to now go back to what I was talking about at the start of this episode, how you figure out what you're even going to talk to people about. What is that problem, the misconception, the mistake that they're making, when you know very clearly who it is that you're speaking to and what your expertise is in. It's so easy because it's right there in front of you. You don't have any confusion or doubt or lack of clarity on what you should be saying because you know it. You know them. You know what it is that they're going through. And that's why I just love this. I hope you can tell I'm smiling as I'm talking about this because it is such a great feeling to make everything so much lighter, easier, effortless. And that's what I found as soon as I made myself get to this level of specialization, definitely this level of authority and expertise in my area, which is creating authority, creating the expertise, the niching part of it. That's what I specialize in defining it and in then building your services that are aligned to your expertise so that you can have premium services. Nobody is going to buy a premium service from someone who cannot communicate and they can't articulate or identify what it is that they really help people with. If you don't know the what, the who, the why you, then it's really hard to have a premium service because you've got nothing to build that on. Or you've just created a service and you have no idea who it's for. Well, that isn't going to sell like hotcakes. So let's start with the key to marketing. And I hope this episode has been useful and insightful for you. This is something that I'm very passionate about. It's what I work in, day out with all of my clients, helping them do that because it's relevant no matter if you've been in business for 1 year or for 20 years. Often we lose sight of our own specialization and really how to communicate it because it's always clear to us. We know what it is. But if it's not clear to someone else, they don't understand why, then you've got a problem with your marketing and with your sales. So if marketing and sales are not easy for you right now, then this is what we come back to every single time and we start there. And I think that's all from me today. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and your Friday, and I'll catch you guys soon on She's the Business. Bye. Do you know what the number one challenge reported by the women joining my Facebook community, My Tribe, said that they were struggling with their marketing in 2021, and in fact, even in 2020 as well. And that was exactly how they should reach their ideal client. How do they even get in front of them in order to build their audience in the first place? That was it. And it wasn't a pick and mix. I didn't give them that answer. It was a free text question. So they could write in there anything they wanted at all. And the number of times that I saw somebody say, how to create awareness, how to get in front of my ideal client and build my audience. So many people just challenged by it. And why is that when there's such an abundance of ways that we can get in front of the ideal client? And I think it's probably that is exactly it. It's so overwhelming, isn't it? What should you do? What should you choose? What are the best ways? Whatever it is that you're doing right now might not be working. And I think it's a great time to sit back, reflect, and figure out what's the right way for you to do it. What are the ways that you're going to reach your prospective clients in 2022? So if that sounds like you, if that might have been what you wrote down in the questions on what is your biggest challenge with your marketing currently, then you're going to absolutely love the new freebie that I've just put together for you. It's called 12 Brilliant Ways to Reach Your Ideal Client. And in it, I share with you the 12, in my view, 12 top ways that you could use in your marketing plan this year to reach a bigger, broader audience in order to attract those ideal clients in to your inner circle, into your, really well-defined audience and become real leads for you. So if you'd like to get your hands on this brand new freebie, then all you need to do is go to jessicaosborne.com/12 ways. So it's 12 ways. Very easy. You can download it there. And this is a little bit of great resource for your planning, for the planning of the new year. see what you're going to change up. What is it that you maybe haven't been doing that you could be doing? And what are those things that you've been doing and they're not very effective, and maybe you're going to drop them out of your plan this year? So please head over, grab the freebie. If you want the link, that it's in the show notes, and let's get you moving on up, having more success with your marketing in 2022.